Hey everyone, welcome to Kingdom Builder. I'm your host, Kelly Meade, and today I'm joined by a brand new husband and wife duo celebrating the release of their debut single, More Like You, out everywhere today. Grace and Max, how are you guys?
Awesome. How are you?
I am great. It's so good to have you on here. Max, we got to meet last summer when you guys
Mhm.
were playing in Shawn Rodriguez's band up here in Kingdom Bound. And Grace, I've just loved following you guys ever since I found your page on Instagram. So it's awesome to have you on here and introduce you and your music to our audience as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. We're just so grateful to be here.
Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been loving what you've shared on social media with the worship covers and really excited for More Like You to be out for everyone to hear. It's such a fun song. And since there's a lot of people that are probably seeing you guys for the first time on here, what's like a little bit of your story of how you first got into music?
I originally got into music when I was like 9 or 10 years old, just doing talent shows, writing songs, all for fun. And then it wasn't until I was in high school I started producing my own music and putting out songs on wherever I could put them out. And then I went to college at Belmont University, that's here in Nashville. And after 2 years there, I left Belmont because I had the opportunity to work with a producer and develop my skills in production and songwriting. And we even put out some of those songs that we worked on, which was an amazing experience. And so since then, I've just been pursuing music kind of like by myself and and with Grace, obviously. But that's kind of been the abridged version of my music journey.
Yeah, and for me, I'm from Texas originally, and so growing up in Texas, I just always knew I wanted to go into Christian music, and I always wanted to be a singer ever since I was a little girl. And I think when I was in fifth grade, my elementary school principal at a public school came up to me and she just told me, like, use your voice for the Lord, and like He's gonna take you far. And it just gives me goosebumps thinking about that because I feel like in that moment, like everything just shifted, and I just was like, I want to be a Christian singer. And so I didn't really know how that looked and what the ins and outs of that were. And so growing up, I just started leading worship. And the end of high school is when I just met some people here in Nashville and I started traveling here to write songs. And at first, I did not like writing songs. I was like, just give me the song to sing and that's great. But then quickly realized that's just not going to work. And so I just started writing a lot of songs, and that just became a way for me to process my emotions and just process how I'm feeling. And I just really feel the Lord just using my story and turning that hurt and brokenness into something good and into something beautiful. And Max and I met a few years ago, and we got married in June, and we originally were not going to be a duo. That was like not in our plans at all, but we just felt so strongly the Lord calling us to join our ministries together. So More Like You is really just our first opportunity to release a song together as a married couple and joining our ministries. And so it's crazy to see how like the Lord took us separately and brought us up in this the music scene, and just kind of brought us together in that.
I love that. I love how like God can really, it may not look exactly the way that we think it's going to be, but he can put all of these pieces into place at just the right time and open like the different doors and just a new path even that, like you said, you guys weren't really planning on it, but like that was one thing that drew me in immediately and kind of made me come like a instant fan a little bit there, was seeing just like the interaction between you two and the like fun energy that you have as a couple, and then that really comes through as you're singing as well. So it's just really exciting for me to watch, and have been kind of, I feel like I'm kind of coming in right at the start with you guys, so I'm excited to continue to follow along on your journey and see where God will take this.
Oh, we are so excited.
Mhm. So yeah, kind of speaking about how you guys came together, what has it been like for you to craft your sound as a duo?
It came pretty naturally because a lot of the music I do is more like pop, modern stuff.
And I have more folk influences,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, most of my influences come from the pop genre, and more of Grace's influence come from the folk genre or like singer-songwriter. And so when we wrote together, it naturally just came out of like this pop folk sound.
This blend of the
that
two.
blend that we didn't really even like necessarily try to have, but it just naturally came out because our. So then, when you're listening to one of our songs, you can hear our individual influences within the same song, which I think is just a cool.
Yeah, honestly, when we first decided like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be a duo. I was not looking forward to finding our sound because for a lot of people that takes so long. And not saying that we have our sound down 100% because I feel like it's always changing.
Mhm.
But when we just first started writing with in mind that we were going to be a duo, like you said, it just came out so naturally and just came out so like this is what it's supposed to be. Like this is what it's meant to sound like.
Yeah, and that really comes through on how you do the worship covers and like mashups of songs. And they're so much fun and they sound so unique as well. So I love hearing your spin on all of those.
Thank you.
So as I mentioned, first met Max last summer when he was playing in Shawn Rodriguez's band.
Yeah.
And Shawn's been such a great, like he's become a really, good friend over the past couple of years. And he's always so much fun to see and talk with. And I know you guys opened some shows for him on the Jesus Will tour as a duo, as well as joining him on stage in the band. So what was it like for you to bring your music to those audiences, and how do you feel that God has worked in your lives and through your music as you did those shows?
Oh man, there's no words to describe the opportunity that Shawn gave us this last year. Like we did not know Shawn until last May, when he approached Max to be in his band. And originally I was not in the band, but towards the end of the summer and into the fall tour, now I'm officially part of the band, not just opening. And so we have just learned so much. I feel like so this just came to mind, just something that we all collectively as a band and as a group, just the Lord placed so heavily on our hearts is that the Lord does not ask for our abilities, but he's asking for our availability. And I think every single person on the team has a heart to serve the Lord, which you can't say that for every single band. And so working with these guys and working all together, we just try to just say yes to the Lord and show up and just let God do his thing. And we've just become so close with all of the guys. And it's weird that we've only known them a few months because it feels like forever. Like we just feel like family. I personally did not know what to expect being the only girl going on tour with all these guys, but for like, they just feel like my brothers, all of their wives just are my friends. It's so special. I don't know.
Yeah, the way that the Lord set it up, we were like a month out from getting married, and Shawn DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Hey, call me whenever you get a chance." And I called him.
And they had only met one time.
Oh yeah, we had only met like once or twice in passing. Yeah, and so I call him and he says, "Hey, like I'm looking for a keyboard player. Are you interested in going on tour?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I do have one scheduling conflict though. I am getting married." And so I did miss like one or two of the first shows, but then hopped on with them two days after we got back from our honeymoon. Jumped on the van and we were playing we're playing a festival, jumping into some shows, and yeah, it was just such a cool experience. And just I knew that God had placed it right in front of us because it's something we didn't have to like necessarily strive for. We didn't have to by our own will, by our own strength, pick ourselves up and try to get this opportunity. God simply made a way. And that's how I knew it was from the Lord. And it was just so, it felt so easy. And it felt so natural, and it felt so right. And that's how I knew it was from God. And it was, it's just been amazing being able to do this with these truly like Christ following people. And yeah, it's just been a blast.
Yeah, I really love seeing the energy that you all have together on stage. I know I didn't get to see Grace in person with the band yet, but like I've seen the video clips and everything, and it's just so much fun. And like it's seriously, that was one of the highlights of 2024 was getting to see, that Kingdom Bound show. So it's just been a lot of fun, and I'm just so excited, like I said, to kind of be continuing to follow along and see where this goes with you. You mentioned how being able to do this together as husband and wife as well. I feel like that's such a special thing and really important too, because then it's going to help you with your faith journey as well as your career.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting, but also so beautiful and so amazing experience to just jump into getting married and learning how to be husband and wife, but then also becoming business partners at the same time. And also hopping in a van with all these guys and just traveling all over. And it's been a learning curve in the best way. Like I would not have it any other way.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's definitely been a unique experience where like most people, it's like for the other guys at least, like their wives, they work and they do their own thing, and then the guys come back. Like we're doing everything together, which is such a blessing. And but yeah, like you were saying, it's been learning how to be married, but also learning how to do business together and how to serve the Lord together, not just as a husband and wife, but as a music duo. And so it's been a really cool opportunity and a really fun learning experience. And I'm just excited to see where it keeps going.
And now you've come to the time to release your debut single, More Like You. I totally love this song. I love the vibe of it. I love the message that it brings. And I got to see the whole like music video that you guys shot for it, which I'm so excited for more people to see. Where did this song start for you?
Well, I remember, well, it was like when Shawn asked us, hey, like, you want to go on tour? We're like, oh, shoot, we need some songs. Like, we're going to have to be able to play a set where we can actually not just play covers the whole time, which is,
something that feels like both of us together,
yes.
Sound. And so as we started writing, honestly, we were just talking about like what's been on our hearts, like what do we want to share to the people coming to these shows, like what is on our hearts. And truly it was just a simple prayer to live more like Jesus as he calls us to do. And it's like there's a lyric in the song and it says, better is a second in your presence than a million minutes chasing after my desires. And it's all about just you could spend your whole life chasing those selfish desires, but when you step into the Lord's presence and you step into the calling that he has over your life, there is nothing better than that. Like it is so worth it and just so worth stepping into what his plan is for your life.
Yeah, amen to that. I feel like it's such a great reminder also to not get caught up in what other people have to say about us, whether it's good or bad, and to really kind of focus our time and nurture that relationship with God as our Heavenly Father and spend time with Him in prayer and worship and in His Word, and just to be able to really like cultivate that. And I think this song really kind of, drives that message home.
And I hope so. I hope that's what people get out of the song. And I mean, ultimately it's between them and the Lord, but that was our goal in writing the song.
Mm-hmm. And Grace, you also released a solo song last year called Beauty in Me. That is so beautiful. And that song is so real and relatable. And I think it's another one that everyone should go listen to. And I will link that in the description below here to make it easy for people to find. But yeah, to me, it was one that when I first heard it and a few times since, it kind of brings tears to my eyes just because it's something, like I said, it's so relatable. So what has that song meant to you and the heart behind it?
Oh man, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it because I feel like for me, just body image has just been a struggle my entire life. And I think it's a struggle for so many women, so many men, so many girls and boys. When I talk to so many people, it's just this concept of I can see the beauty in everything God has made. It's like, why can't I see it in myself? And we're made in his image. And I think something that the enemy tries to do is isolate us and make us feel alone, and because he's here to steal, kill, and destroy. And so I honestly wrote the song, did not think anything of it. It was just, I wrote it on a day where I just felt like I wasn't beautiful. And I just started writing and it just coming out of me. And it was just my way of talking to God and just telling him how I was feeling and just pray. It was just my prayer for him to change my heart. And I just posted a clip on Instagram, not expecting anything to come of it because I used to just post all the songs that I wrote. And this song made me realize how not alone I am in that struggle. And I just saw so many people relate to it and just talk about their struggles and how they feel the same way that I do. And so I released it last year, and that just kind of opened a bunch of doors and just more opportunities to continue writing those very vulnerable songs and just touching on mental health and just touching on my experience. And I was kind of talking about it earlier, but the Lord takes what was meant for evil and turns it into something good and into something beautiful. And so I really feel as though he's done that with with Beauty and Me in the song, and I believe that he is going to continue to do that in the other songs that I release, and just reminding people that he sees them in his image and that he created them and that he loves us and that he did not make a mistake with us.
Yeah, I've shared a little bit on here before. Like, I love when I hear a song that you can tell really came from like the heart of the artist, and it is a little bit more honest and vulnerable. And I think that those kind of songs have the potential to just make such a deep connection with whoever listens to it and give them encouragement. And like you're saying, let them know that they're not alone. And then it also helps the songwriter as well. And it can be very good for for you to know that there's other people out there, and then in turn you can get comforted in that way as well.
Exactly.
So you guys are a part of our 2025 Artist to Watch on today's Christian Entertainment. So excited to be including you on this list. And like I said earlier, cannot wait to see where God will take you both as the year continues to unfold. So what are some things coming up that you're excited about?
Man, there's a lot coming up this year. First of all, we're starting tour rehearsal with Shawn within the next few weeks, which is really exciting. And we're going to be jumping on the road here as soon as possible. And another thing is, well, we have our first single coming out, and then we'll be having a bunch of other songs hopefully come out this year. Well, that's at least the goal, for between for Grace and Max, for my personal project, for Grace's personal projects. And so, yeah, there's going to be a lot of music, a lot of touring, and just a lot of, we're really excited. It's going to be a fun year.
It's going to be a year full of just dreams coming true. And so, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to just share. I just want to word vomit and just share all the things, but that's all we can say for now.
I know that that's another reason that you cannot share everything all at once, which is awesome. And it's also like it's kind of like, I want to, but I know I can't right now.
Yeah.
But that's also a reason for people to follow you guys on social media, which I will link all of those pages in the description below this video so that we can stay up to date with everything you guys have coming up. Check out More Like You, available everywhere today. I'm excited about it. I will be praying that God will continue to use you two and to open the doors that need to be opened and just provide ways for your music to reach as many people as possible.
Oh,
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
We're so honored to be on the new Artist to Watch for 2025. Like that is insane to me. That is wild.
Grace and Max, thank you so much for joining me. This was so fun talking with you.
Thank you so much for having us.